So here's the thing, a lot of people complain that the reason they weren't able to start investing sooner in their life was because they didn't have enough disposable income to put into their investments. The reality is, if you were to do an audit of the majority of people's income who say that, they are making frivolous, unnecessary purchases which are holding them back. But they seem so minor that at the time you're like, oh, I'm not doing much, I'm not living a crazy lavish lifestyle. But it's these certain bad purchases which are stopping you from building any momentum with your investments. In this video, we're going to break down my 7 worst purchases you could be making in your 20s and which ones I would be staying away from immediately. Now, it's important to understand this is not a video about being frugal and don't buy coffee and don't do all these things. I'm a big proponent of spending. I think you need to have an abundant lifestyle to attract more money and to have that kind of relationship with money. I think you should give away to charity. I think you should buy some of the finer things in life. But in your 20s, if you want to get out of the rat race, if you want to get off that hamster wheel, you're going to need to make sure that you sacrifice for that critical period in your life. So these things, I'm not saying you can't buy them once you've managed to set up your passive income. And if you've got passive income already that can pay for all the 7 things I mentioned in this video, this does not apply to you. Go and buy them till your heart's content. But if you're in a position where you're paycheck to paycheck, you're struggling to get that next piece of income coming in, and you're buying any of the 7 on this list, this is what's holding you back. And it may seem silly. It may be like, oh, that's $1,000. But these $1,000 add up to build you a serious crypto stock or real estate portfolio, wherever you want to invest in. So let's get straight into it. And the first one we're going to talk about is designer clothes. At 20 years old, you would be shocked and astounded at the number of 20-year-olds who are earning basic incomes. They've just started their careers, coming out of university or college or wherever they were doing before, and they want to have the latest Gucci, Prada, Fendi, whatever the trend is at that moment, Balenciaga, Balmain, Amiri. They want the latest clothing, right? For what? As a status symbol, to keep up with the Joneses, when in reality, they've not built or even started building their net worth. And that is a huge trapping of society, is they're very good at getting you to spend. As soon as that paycheck comes in, maybe you're earning maybe you're earning $3,000, maybe you've even managed to start earning $4,000, $5,000 in some Western countries, and you're feeling like a big shot in your 20s, 21s. You're holding yourself back from your true potential. You've made a great start, and you should be figuring out a way to funnel a percentage of your earnings into investment, but constantly buying that new set of trainers, that Prada bag, that Gucci belt, or anything else, that's really holding you back. So if you're making those kind of purchases and you're complaining you don't have enough to put into crypto, like, you need to take a reality check. Next up, and a real big personal one for me, because I have a huge attraction to cars. Like most men, right? Young men, we want nice cars, we want the nice things in life. But car leases and new cars are holding back so many youngsters. The number of youngsters that have reached out to me saying they've got a crazy car payment, that they're paying $500, $800, $1,000 a month on their car payment is absolutely ludicrous. And again, this is how companies and the corporate world will hold you back. Look at the proliferation of car leases and car finance over the last 10, 15 years. If you go back a little while ago, if you couldn't afford to pay cash for a car, you were not getting the car, right? And now it's gotten so bad with Klarna and Affirm and all these other apps, you can do buy now, pay later on a t-shirt. If you can't afford a t-shirt, why are you buying that t-shirt? How are you paying your t-shirt in installments? Are you driving me insane? Coming back to cars, right? If you're earning $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and you're setting yourself back $800 a month on a car payment just to drive the latest BMW, a depreciating asset, like, how does that make any sense, right? It does not. That income is perfect income for you to be funneling across to investments. And again, once you've got yourself a passive income generating machine, you've got some crypto that is spinning off passive income, you've got some stocks that are paying dividends, or you've got some real estate that is paying off rental income that can cover the car payments and your Gucci clothes and all the other things I'm going to list here, then please don't stop. Go make those purchases. But if you're doing it from active earned income, where you're working a job, you've earned $3,000 and $1,000 of that is going to a car payment, that is one of the worst things you could be doing in your 20s. Next up, gadgets. Now, it's important that I caveat this one. I'm not saying do not have good quality gadgets, right? Of course, I will have the best cameras, I will have the best MacBooks, the iPads, the phones, in order for it to generate me income. But that is the difference. Those are assets in my business that are tax write-offs for me to deliver the work that I'm delivering. If you're buying a pair of AirPods to look cool in front of your friends versus buying some AirPods as a business expense because it's going to help you produce better content or do your work better that you can have as a tax write-off, that is a very big difference. And you need to understand, where are you sitting in on that camp? Because the reality is, again, just like with the cars, these companies, all these corporate companies are very well adept at taking two things: your attention, which we're going to come on a little bit later, and your money, right? So just like that, phone companies, whether it's Apple, whether it's Samsung, they will release a new phone every single year. And now they're doing double releases. They have a release in the first part of the year, then they'll have another release with some more gadgets for you to buy in the second half of the year. And again, if you're spending $2,000 on gadgets in the first half of the year and another $2-3 at the second half of the year to get the latest iPhone, it's not necessary. Breaking news, the iPhone 4 years ago is not very different to the iPhone today. You may think it does. It takes calls, it lets you do WhatsApp, and it does all the other bits and pieces as well. You can definitely download a crypto exchange and trade on those ones as well, right? You don't need the new one. Now again, if you've got passive income, knock yourself out. Bad purchase number 4, and that is Uber and Deliveroo, right? Uber Eats, Deliveroo. Again, so many youngsters. I mean, I just found this really quite shocking actually, but if you spend some time with these youngsters in their 20s now, they will just, at a bat of an eyelid, spend $30, $40, $50 on a meal for one, right? Just using these apps. I'm like, that is income that should be going into your investment. But again, that is the generation we're living in now. It's so easy to open an app, order some food, just go out, at least go to the restaurant and pick up the food and save on the delivery cost, right? Because you're at that point in your 20s where you have loads of time, but you don't have income. And so when that revolves, when that changes and you're slightly older and you've managed to build passive income and investments and you've built your net worth, then you can pay money to save your time because your time will then become more valuable. At that point, it then makes sense to order, right? Why cook? Why go walk to the restaurant? Just order Uber Eats or Deliveroo because your time is worth more than that $50. But when you're in your 20s and you've not actually built up your businesses or your net worth or your value of your time just yet, then it makes sense for you to go spend the time to go save the money. Once you've built that money, you've invested it away, then it can become a useful route for you. But where you're at currently, it's holding you back. Purchase number 5, unnecessary subscriptions. Remember when I said that companies are adept at taking your money, but they were also brilliant at taking your attention? Look at the likes of Amazon with their streaming services. Look at the likes of Netflix. Look at the likes of Disney Plus. How many different ones are there now? I can't even keep up depending on which country you're in. There'll be loads, right? And so you can do an audit of someone's bank account and it's very likely they're spending $100 to $150 just on subscriptions. But here's the worst thing. It's not even the money. Okay, let's say you can afford the $150 on your subscriptions. Can you afford the time, right? You don't just buy Netflix for it to sit there and you pay $20 for your Netflix. No, you spend hours and hours a day on that Netflix. So it's not just the cost of the money, it's what it's doing to your time. It's taking away your time that you could be thinking, working on your business, or resting, or going for a refreshing walk, or doing some sort of fitness activity, or spending time with loved ones, away from the things that are actually going to give you value in your 20s. You know, nobody has ever said that I'm so grateful that I watched those series on Netflix. It really revolutionized my lifestyle. It doesn't. It's escapism, but what are you escaping from? Go and build the life that you want. Bad purchase number 6, and another big trapping for people in their 20s, is the partying and clubbing scene. So much money, so much cost, and again, just like with the subscriptions, so much unnecessary waste of time. There is going to be plenty of time for you to flash your income and to show and party and have good times once you've built the lifestyle that you want, but trying to do it prematurely, that instant gratification, is going to hold you back from living the life that you want. So instead, dedicate your 20s and some of your 30s to working and building the life that you want, and then you can have the downtime, you can have the holidays, you can have the vacation, you can have the parties and do whatever you want and the things that you enjoy. But to be doing them from the outset when you've not actually earned anything is just chasing instant gratification. Go put in some work. And here's the funny thing, when you actually put in the work, when you actually take that downtime, it's far more rewarding and enjoyable. Right? If you've worked really hard from Monday all the way through Saturday, I don't just mean a little bit, working hard, not taking a minute off, right? And when that Sunday comes through and you're having an hour off or 2 hours off, you really do enjoy it. It's far more rewarding and valuable. Last but not least, it's taxis. Yes, taxis. Loads of youngsters now, particularly in their 20s, are spending loads of money on taxis. Like, where did this become a thing? Like, when I was in my 20s, it was very normal to go take public transport. Now, granted, I'm in London. The public transport network is very good here and it's reliable. If you're in a country where that's not the case, fine. But is there a route? It's a question for you to at least ask is, order your purchase. Are you that person just ordering an Uber every single time, $20, $25, $30 a time? When you could have taken a bus, you could have at least shared an Uber, or you could have got a friend to pick you up. These again sound really, really small and petty, but these $100 here, $100 there add up to thousands, guys, and thousands are enough to start a meaningful crypto or stock portfolio, right? So, don't ignore all these 7 things. When these 7 things are all put together, individually you may go, oh, leave me alone, or the only thing I would do is buy designer clothes. Oh, it's all right, I'll take a taxi here and there. No, go order that on your bank statement and you'll be shocked. It will at least be hundreds of dollars a month, which you could be saving, and that adds up over a few months to give you 1,000, and 1,000 is enough for you to start your crypto portfolio. So there you have it, guys. 7 worst things to be buying in your 20s, and these are things which will hold you back from building the life that you want. And again, I'm not saying this because I think I know it all or anything like that. At the end of the day, it's your money. You can do what you want. This video is targeted to people who are trying to get ahead in life, who are trying to invest and build passive income so they can enjoy all those things without ever batting an eyelid. But if you do it too soon, that instant gratification, if you try to do it too early, you're probably hindering yourselves from having all 7 of these things for the rest of your life. Sacrifice now just for a little bit, and you can have all 7 of these things without it even denting your net worth once you've built a solid foundation. Hope you guys enjoyed. Smash all the likes, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.